Hey everybody, it's Pookie Monster, and as you guys can tell from my change of scenery, today's video is Star Wars related. Now, as you guys know, I am a huge Star Wars geek, nerd, whatever you want to call me, and I've been wanting to make a tag for quite a while now, and since it's May, we got May the 4th, May the 5th, and 6th. People debate whether, May the 5th or 6th is better suited for May the 6th, but, whatever, I'm not going to take sides on the debate. But since this is a very Star Wars-y month, I thought, why not put out a Star Wars tag that I've been thinking about for a while, and I'm calling it the
Extended Universe Read-a-thon.
Yeah, that sounds nice, doesn't it? Basically what this tag is you choose a Star Wars career, and that Star Wars career determines what books you read in the month. So I've made a list of over 20 different Star Wars careers, and I had a really hard time choosing about which one I wanted to do. So I went ahead and I went online and I took one of those Star Wars career quizzes, and I got Rebel. And you might think Rebel's like kind of basic, kind of like choosing Jedi. It's kind of like a cop-out thing. So I went and took another quiz from a different site, and I got a Rebel pilot. So I was like, you know what, might as well go with that. No matter which career you choose, you'll be reading 4 books within the span of a month. Now you could do it in 2 weeks, or you could do it in 2 months. I'm just choosing a month as my goal to read these books. So I'm going to be going ahead and giving you guys examples of what the career things are and showing you guys the books I chose for it. So the first book requirement out of the 4 is it has to be some sort of Star Wars book. It doesn't matter if it's pre-Disney canon, which is the Legend books, which is what I prefer to read, or it could be the new canon, the Disney stuff, or it could be like a near canon fanfic. As long as it's in a book form, you can read it as your first book. For my first book, I chose Dark Forces Rising, which is the second book in the Thorn trilogy. Now, as you guys know, I was already going to pick this book up, so this is kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And I would give you guys a summary on this book, but this is the part 2. I can't give you a summary for this without spoiling the first book. So if you haven't watched it, this is not a TV show. I'm not going to open this up and a screen appears, okay? So if you have not read the first book, that would be very spoily. So I'm just going to say that I'm actually really looking forward to this because I feel it could be a good book or it could be a bad book because of the way the last book ended, but I feel like there's going to be some pretty interesting things happening, and there are questions that I need answered, and I'm looking forward to this. Your second book requirement is based off the book's plot, and since I chose Rebels, I had to choose a book where the people in the book are defying their government. So for that, I chose Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson, and it fits it perfectly. It took me so long to find this book because there are tons of books where people are defying the government, but like a lot of them I didn't want to read. So this book is about a group of people called the Epics who have superhuman powers, but they are inherently evil. And Steelheart, who is the head honcho of them, has named himself Emperor, which I feel goes really well with this Read-a-thon challenge because Emperor Palpatine, Emperor, kind of good, right? He's named himself Emperor, and he is said to be indestructible. Nothing can kill him. No blade can slice his throat. Okay, that was a little intense. But the main character in this book, whose name is David, his father was killed by Steelheart, and when Steelheart was killing his father, he saw Steelheart bleed, which is something crazy because he's kind of indestructible, and so he joins this group called the Reckoners, who try to exploit the weaknesses of these superhumans and try to take them down. So I'm really excited about this book, and actually before I was starting to look into this read-a-thon, I've never heard of this book, and which is sad because I want to read all the Brandon Sanderson books. I want to read all the books. So I'm really excited to read this book because I don't read many like superhero-ish books, and I know this is more of like a super villain-ish book, but I still think that's super cool. The third book that you get is based off the cover of the book. And so since I chose Rebels, my cover has to have green and brown on it, or it has to have camo. So for this, I chose The Swiss Family Robinson. Now, this is actually not what I was going to read. I had picked up another book. It's literally right over there, and it's got camo on it. And I was really excited to read it because a whole bunch of booktubers were like, oh, this is an amazing book. It's original, it's unique, it's innovative, it's amazing. And I start reading the first couple pages and there's so many cuss words and it's playing on a lot of racial stereotypes and I'm just like, booktubers, you let me down. This is a bad book. So I'm actually going to be putting that book in another video with a couple of my other DNFs where I will explain to you guys why that's a bad book. But enough about that. As you can see, the treehouse, the people, and the trees obviously are brown, and then there's green, and then there's green accents in the trees and down here. So this totally counts, and this is actually my brother's copy, because if I didn't borrow his copy, then I wouldn't have a book for you guys. So I just want to say thank you to my brother for letting me borrow his book because it's actually really beautiful. It's got the gold edges and it's got a bookmark in here. So yeah, I think it's pretty cute. I actually started reading this book when I was in 7th grade, but that was before I was kind of into classics, and so I started reading it and I was like, ew, this is boring. But I'm hoping to like it better now. Okay, and the last book I'm going to be getting is based off the book's title. So since I chose Rebels, the title has to have one of the following in it. It needs to have either Rebel, obviously, Hope, Free or Freedom, or Rogue. And so for this, I actually own a book. Even though this wasn't the original book I was going to read, because it turns out that book is bad too. But I actually own a book, and it's called... This is The Catalyst, a Rogue One novel. Now, there's actually kind of a funny story behind this. I had actually gotten the Rogue One novel based off the movie for my birthday, but when I opened it up, it had a huge gash down it. Don't even know how that happened, and so we returned it, and my mom got me a new one. But she got me the wrong one. This is The Catalyst, not the actual Rogue One based off the movie novel, and I never actually got around to reading it. So yeah, this is kind of like pushing me forward because like there's always so many new books out there. I never know what to read. Should I read this one? Oh, that looks amazing. Oh, look, there's a book from the 18th century that looks absolutely amazing. Oh, look, a book just came out. Oh, that doesn't look amazing. But look at that book. And so like I get distracted by new books and I really should read this one. So this is just giving me that shove I needed to start this book. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see it? Can you read that? Please tell me you can. This is actually really, I don't think I've ever drank on camera before, but this is really good. It's orange creamsicle death sticks now in drink form, and it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you might lose a few years of your life, but it's really good. It's twangy, but it's got that like creamy aftertaste. Like you can taste the texture of the creaminess, and it's amazing. Okay, so that is the extended universe readathon. If you guys want to do this tag with me, I would absolutely love that. And if you can't do it with me, then you can do it later. You can do it in any month. I'm just deciding to do it in May. And I'm really excited to actually be doing like my first original content thing. I mean, technically I had posted original content, but it was kind of dorky. Well, dorky's not bad, but it was kind of not as bookish related as I would like it to be. I'm going to be going ahead and posting down in the comments a link to where you can see all of the careers that I've laid out and all the criteria for each career. So there's things from Sith to Jedi Apprentice to Padawan to Jedi General to Beast Tamer, Smuggler, Assassin, Bounty Hunter, all those good things in there and more. So if you want to check that out and do this with me, go ahead and let me know. I don't think I'll be actually tagging anybody in this because it's a readathon, not really like a booktube tag, you know what I mean? So if you want to join, you can. I encourage you because I made it and it took time and I want to see what you guys read. Now I know 2 of my books were technically Star Wars books, but only one of your books has to be a Star Wars book. You don't specifically have to make all 4 of them Star Wars related or even 2, just 1. So if you wanted to read a different book that had, you know, Rogue in the title, that's totally fine. You would not believe I kept looking up books that had Rogue in the title. So many of them were romance books. so many. Don't look it up. There's just too much. There's all these corny paperback books with shirtless men on the covers, and it's no, shield my young eyes. And anyways, that's it for now. I'm probably going to be going ahead and doing a weekly vlog. What's a vlog? I'm going to go ahead and be making a weekly vlog, basically just tracking my progress in the extended universe readathon. So go ahead and look forward to that. I'll be posting it probably 20 years from now because it takes me forever to get things up. I know this is inconsequential, but I can't figure out which bookmark I want to go into each book. Like, I got a Rogue One book. Should I put it in the Rogue One novel, or is that too basic? And then I got this, which is lit, and honestly, I can't tell which writing that is, but. And then I got this one, which is dented, and you guys will find out why it's dented in a video that I'm going to be posting later that I should have posted before this, but I got bogged down in editing, so I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you like Star Wars, I encourage you to go ahead and do this readathon with me. And as always, I just want to tell you guys to stay safe and eat donuts. Bye guys!